Welcome, friends. Welcome to our pre-full moon garden visualization in Scorpio in November 2025. Let's continue to build our healing garden as a group at some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, meeting DK there as he instructed us, and turning our garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. And now let's gather in our garden, but before we do, let us align with our own soul. Raise your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. And now carry that consciousness upwards towards the astral body, then the mental body, and then the soul. And visualize a lotus, fully open, radiating light all around, as a symbol of your soul body. And now place yourself right at the center of your lotus on the bluey white diamond of the jewel. Realizing now that you, the soul, and you, the personality, are one in consciousness. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe your personality below and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. And now consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine. And you may use indigo blue light if you don't know the color of your soul ray. And now raise it slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, up into the soul body, vivifying the sutratma and linking the personality and soul into one blended unit. And say the soul mantra with conviction, knowing who you are, a soul inhabiting a body. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And let us sound one Om as if we were the soul in full expression in the presence of the Master. the entrance of our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses. KH, favorite flower. Clusters of roses in abundance overhead. And choose the color that you resonate with. So as you stroll down the archway, let the roses gently caress your face, and breathe in their delicate aroma, percolating throughout the air, while small lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. And now extend your sense of hearing and actually hear the little rocks under your feet. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of red, yellow, pink, etc. And as we create these rows of flowers, we include our own favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. And on the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony, a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as the symbol of our united group soul. And as we assemble there, quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear and melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space that we've created. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps. Divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. In the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. And DK tells us that eucalyptus trees are amongst the most evolved species in the vegetable kingdom. So it's very fitting for them to be here in our healing garden, as they have many, many healing properties. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large quiet pool of crystal clear waters. And flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily. Across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, all reflecting their light in the healing waters. And here is a special place, friends, where you can bring anybody that you'd like for healing. So just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads us to a cozy and serene corner. A chair or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. So inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing and permeating the air as everything in this garden quivers with livingness. So invite someone in this spot, this very special spot in our garden. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it, and we come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool below, and bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, reds, creams, yellows, pinks, of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle, living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed Billy follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, touching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating, bright golden pixie dust. Nearby, the soft babble of the fountains reaches our ears. Lush green grass lines a gentle stream like a soft velvety. Feel the coolness of the grass. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the streams in this tranquil garden, quivering with life. Now, this garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner which has our individual touch. Add the colors, the unique features and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this serene space. Let's invite the presence and cooperation of the healing devas working under DK and the Christ. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. Now sitting quietly, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud together with purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart. We offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. We open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light And we know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to DK's radiant energy. And the light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter as it intensifies gradually. And soon the light begins to take shape, and a definite figure appears. And in our creative imagination, it's that of Master DK. So from the lighthouse, visualize calm waves of golden light poured by DK, streaming through our group and irradiating the garden around us, imbuing it with the strength and courage of Scorpio. And feel the power and intensity of Scorpio descend and immerse the space in our group. Let's listen intuitively with our heart to the Master's teachings. Let they illumine our mind and raise us to a much higher state of consciousness, into the higher mind and into the Buddhic plane, which Scorpio rules. Scorpio, at this particular stage of human evolution, governs the path of discipleship. It's the great constellation which influences the turning point both in the life of humanity and the life of the individual human being. And for the first time in the history of both mankind and disciples, the energy of Sirius, pouring into the 7 groups which form our planetary hierarchy, evokes a response. Scorpio is under the influence or inflowing energy of Sirius, the brilliant star of sensitivity. This is the great star of initiation, because our hierarchy, an expression of the second aspect of divinity, is under the supervision or spiritual magnetic control of the hierarchy of Sirius. Scorpio and the inflowing energy of Sirius are the major controlling influences whereby the cosmic Christ works upon the Christ principle in the solar system, in the planet, in man, and in the lower forms of life expression. So gathered together in our garden, fortified by the presence of Master DK and the healing ashram, our hearts beating as one with the whole hierarchy as they prepare for the full moon. And as DK directs the dispelling radiance of the fourth ray of harmony through conflict, the will to good from Scorpio, we feel the persistence and the will, like tempered steel, of the second ray of love from Sirius. A love which can dismiss fear as to our capacity to weather any trial and struggle and to win through. So then let's voice as one the following mantra. We are messengers of light. We are pilgrims on the way of love. We do not walk alone, but know ourselves as one with all great souls and one with them in service. Their strength is ours. Our strength is theirs. And this we freely give. A soul we walk on earth. We represent the one soul, the one monad of humanity. In Scorpio, the disciple undergoes those tests which will enable him to take the second initiation and demonstrate that the desire nature is subdued and conquered, and that the lower nature is, by being lifted up in the air, that is into heaven, capable of reaching the goal for this world period. This is beautifully expressed for us in the legend of Hercules, the sun god, who overcomes the 9-headed hydra or serpent of desire by being forced to his knees, and from that position of humility lifts up the serpent in the air, and then deliverance comes. In Scorpio, the mind is released into full governing activity, and this release takes place in 2 stages. Stage 1, wherein the intellect becomes dominant and powerful and controls eventually the emotional nature, where the personality struggles to release itself from the grip of lower desire. The power of the trained reasoning and rationalizing mind is called into activity by the soul. Stage 2, wherein the intellect is illumined by the light of the soul, when the personality struggles to release itself from surrounding world glamour, which is revealed when soul light is thrown into it via the reflecting and illumined mind. The illumination of the soul must pour into the mind and is then reflected like a searchlight onto the astral plane. So the keynotes of this sign are therefore test, trial, and triumph. The tests of Scorpio are necessarily three in nature, as they concern intimately the readiness of the threefold personality. 1, to reorient itself to the life of the soul, and later to evidence readiness for initiation. And 3rd, to demonstrate sensitivity to the plan and thus become the one-pointed disciple in Sagittarius. The 3 major tests are again divided into 3 stages, and upon the path of discipleship, the man may find himself passing into this sign for testing and experience 9 times. Thus, the 3 great tests in Scorpio are in reality 9 tests. Hence, the 9-headed hydra or serpent, which is ever associated with Scorpio. 3 of the heads of the hydra represent the tests of appetite, physical desires inherent into our animal nature, sex, physical comfort, and money as concretized energy. And the second test of desire, they are secondly the test connected particularly with desire and the astral plane. These are subtler in nature. They are not inherent in the animal nature, but are imposed by the desire nature, and are again 3 in number: fear, hatred, and ambition or desire for power. And the 3rd test of the lower critical mind, first is pride, which is intellectual satisfaction, making the mind the barrier to soul control. 2nd, separativeness, which is the isolated attitude and which makes the mind the barrier to right group relations. And 3rd, cruelty, which is satisfaction with personality methods and which makes the mind the instrument of the sense of power. They are eventually a life wherein the highly developed and powerful personality becomes in itself the dweller on the threshold. Then the angel of the presence and the dweller stand face to face. The fight is on. In the polar opposite of Taurus, Scorpio, the personality is humbled and brought to grips with the soul. That's at the third initiation. In that sign, the personality is occultly killed and then resurrected into air and light in order to become, from that moment, the servant of the soul. In Scorpio, there is the death of the personality with its longings, desires, ambitions, and pride, brought about by Pluto, governing the 8th house, the house of death, of dissolution, of detachment, and ruling Scorpio, the sign of testing and of discipleship. So then let's pause for a brief moment and allow an image of a glamour or a wrong mental attitude, either from any of the 9 tests or one that we are still battling with, to emerge from within. Let that image just float up to the screen of your mind. And now picture Hercules on his knees, lifting the Hydra away from the earth into the air above to the light. Let his strength and courage be our source of spiritual inspiration. Let's feel as if we had Hercules' strength and courage. And let's picture ourselves on our knees, lifting up the glamour into the purifying and illuminating light of the one soul. Feel the power and potency of Pluto, co-ruler of Scorpio, agent of the soul, all through the group, severing the life of these unconquered aspects of our personalities. And see the glamour gradually disintegrating and dissipating, just like the morning mist is burnt off by the rays of the rising sun. When these faults are realized and are overcome, the result is twofold: the establishing of right relations with the soul and also with the environment. These two results are the goal of all tests in Scorpio. So the keynote of Scorpio is triumph. Hence, the word to the soul is warrior I am, and from the battle I emerge triumphant. The soul finally triumphs from his battle with the lunar lords. Scorpio then brings about, eventually, the death of the personality. It is stated in some of the most ancient books that the heat of the earth, the mother, and the sting of the scorpion are the beneficent gifts which the turning of the wheel gives to the man at the beginning and the end. And these gifts bring a man to liberation and eventually from the control and pain of the fixed cross, which we are all on at the moment. But the energies of the polar opposites must blend and harmonize. So may desire in Taurus become spiritual aspiration in Scorpio, and the darkness of the experience in Scorpio become illumination in Taurus. Where the pairs of opposites are concerned, DK tells us, they gain and profit from each other, for there is a direct line of force and of contact between the two. So this is something to remember, that the opposites must harmonize and blend. So let's visualize our lighthouse standing tall, strong and detached in the middle of our garden, symbol of our united soul group, with Master DK at the summit, glowing as the center of soul power and strength, bestowing Syrian Buddhic force. Let's see the light of Mercury, Scorpio's hierarchical ruler, illumine the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, and every molecule of air and water of our garden. And now that we have imbued our garden with Scorpio's qualities of soul strength, power, and victory, as well as the love and life-giving energy of the sun Sirius under the direction of Master DK. Let's then distribute as a united group soul these energies freely and selflessly to humanity by visualizing the flow of unconditional love or will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha, powering the Christ at the center. And let's superimpose this radiating triangle of will on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group on our soul triangle. Then let's superimpose these two blended triangles on our group chakric triangle, made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major, as they're vitalized by love and the will to good. And then directing the dispelling radiance via our group ajna, right eye, left eye. Let's place this blended triangle, impressing it over the three planetary centers, triangle, London, Geneva, and New York. And let us sound a loud Om, carrying the Syrian fiery love or will to good as we direct it via the three planetary centers to the heart center of humanity. And let's say the healer's mantram slowly and deliberately as we believe in the results. May the love of the one soul and the one life focused in this group, radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening
your heart,
and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may victory prevail in those who battle the pairs of opposites, and be the reward for all who are touched by our garden. And may they become the servant of the soul. And just like Christ does daily, standing under his great pine tree in his garden at sunset, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who truly and earnestly seek to aspire, let's picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram under our pine tree, saying the great invocations together.
Let's intone the powerful invocations as a group soul, saying them with intensity of feeling, in unison with the hierarchy on the inner planes, as we grasp their significance and believe that they embody the will of the planetary logos. Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men be the key note at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming say, "Come forth, Almighty One." Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with mass intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of all has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The activate of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
Catherine? We can barely hear you. Catherine?
Yes.
Let's say together the great invocation, friends. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Let's sound a blue om. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. And let's sound a blue om. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And let's sound a blue om. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. And let's close with a blue om. And let's raise our clasped hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Then bring them down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. May the blessing of the Christ and of the hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. And this evocation or prayer is even more relevant during the period of the Scorpio full moon. May the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world. a place of healing, a place of soul strength, power, and soul triumph, thus bringing healing and wholeness to many.